What's up guys, and welcome to another episode of El Jardín Perdido. Today we're going to be pruning my multi-grafted stone fruit. Alright. Alright, so behind me I have my multi-grafted stone fruit that you've probably seen in a few other videos. What I did this year is I added 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 recent grafts. They haven't taken off yet. They're probably healed. The tree is still in dormancy, which is why I want to do this now. A majority of the grafts, actually all of them, are on the Santa Rosa plum that is still in dormancy. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of walk you guys through how to do this, because last year I had some that took, but they didn't end up keeping because of where I placed them and different factors. The thing with a multi-graft is it's a constant balance, especially when your grafts haven't quite taken off yet. But I'm gonna walk you guys through that. Basically, I started on the outside branches. I'll bring you guys in a minute. And that's great. But if I were to graft them way too short into the tree is going to prefer some of the more healthy branches that can reach the sun more and that kind of thing. So real quick, I'm going to take the camera off. I'm going to show you guys around and show you what I'm going to do, kind of give you a gist. So this is a majority of the Santa Rosa side. You'll see that the entire tree in itself is open center, which is good for stone fruit. But we have the original plum over there, which I really haven't messed with. It's more for balancing everything. The Santa Rosa really took off here last year, so that's what I've grafted onto. It's got a much nicer form for grafting. But what I did was I put the grafts kind of on the outside so that they're getting more sun. But as a result, I need to open this up and kind of open center prune this portion of the tree. If you'll see over here, this isn't as prolific, this side branch here, but this is the old plum and it leads up to an almond, which is doing great. And I also grafted on a peach onto that, which is going into blossom right now, which is pretty awesome. But even this needs a little cleanup. This branch of the almond here isn't looking great. I'm probably gonna take that out, but we have plenty of more growth. I'm gonna do anything crisscrossing. When I talk about opening up this one, I'm probably going to take out at least 2 of these in the middle here, so it can focus more energy on branching outward and fuel those grafts. Real quick, because you guys probably want to know, I'm going to go through all the new grafts that I put on. Well, the old grafts were the Santa Rosa, of course, which took off crazy, but we have the peach here. It's not a specified variety. I got it off my neighbor's tree, but they had really good peaches last year. I have the almond here. I've since added unknown nectarine. I got it from Lowe's. It was just labeled nectarine. We have a red baron peach. We have La Valencia peach right here. Florida Grande peach. Sam Houston peach. I don't know how well this is going to take off. It was a tiny scion, but I figured I'd give it a try. But it's coming off, I think, one of the fruit spurs. We'll see how it goes. We have a gold kissed apricot. I just, for fun, put a snow peach off my back tree. I have one growing in the back. And let's see, we have a Hall Hardy almond and a Rio Grande peach. And I will definitely be doing an update that's a little more impressive once everything starts to push out. So we've established that we're gonna open this up a little. I'm also gonna nip off any unhealthy branches, like I said. This right here has potential to crisscross. I'm gonna take things like that out. With this original plum, which looks ugly as hell aesthetically, but I remember the plums being pretty good and it's had 2 years of growth, so we will be getting fruit this year. But this mess up here, I'm gonna go ahead and take out some of this and open that up. All right guys, so what I'm gonna do is take the camera out and I'm gonna grab the ladder and I'm gonna get to pruning and kind of show you guys a before and after, maybe a time lapse. But another thing I wanna do, because I have shortened some of these branches with the scions, I wanna kind of level the tree out a little bit and take down some of these other shoots just about a half, because we have the 2-year growth, then we have the 1-year growth. We don't want to kill all the 1-year growth because that'll be 2-year growth next year. So we're going to take those down about halfway and thin those out a little bit. Okay, so I have my tools sanitized, just some pruning shears and a pruning knife. So I said one of the first branches I want to take out is this one. Okay. Nice clean cut, close to the bark. I think another one I want to do is this one. You can already see that open things up a lot. Okay, so now we're going to go through and kind of thin out some of these top shoots. Crisscross, nip that. All right guys, so the Santa Rosa side looks a lot better now. I'll kind of pan you around so you can see what's going on with it. But there's a lot less competition and everything's a little more evened out. And that's what you want. You don't want the old growth shading out the new growth. I have it on the outside to get adequate sun exposure and try to reach out towards that. I didn't prune, or I didn't graft right onto here, except for that one. You know, I grafted towards the tips, so it's more likely to shoot outward. But now we're gonna focus really on this one. There's only a few little problem areas, which I'll just show you right here. We have this guy right here. I don't like, it doesn't look very healthy. It's kind of dried out, and we'll prune a little closer there. Any other tips here? Yeah. This tip here doesn't look great, so we're gonna nip that. Basically for the original plum, I'm just gonna clean up the clutter there, open it up a little more, encourage it to branch out. And also I'm going to take it down a little bit on top, just like I did this one, just so there's not as much competition. If it finds something favorable that's gonna grow more towards the sky and it already has a head start, then it's gonna pick that and put all of its energy into that. That's why I had a similar branch to this, but it was even smaller, and the tree just, the grafts took, the tree just decided to discard it, and yeah, so I ended up pruning that off. But okay, now let's focus on this guy. All right, yeah, so the main problem area with this thing's not doing anything. Go ahead and take it out. Okay, that little nub wasn't doing anything. All right, there is a whole lot of crisscross here we're gonna take out. Kind of an awkward angle. I'm gonna start with this guy. Okay, just one. Now I'm not gonna be able to go all the way down, but I will be able to get a majority of it off. Cleaned it up, it's good enough. Now let's get some of the competing branches out of the way. This is growing towards the house. It doesn't need to be there. Okay. These are looking okay. They look a little ugly, but that's fine. As far as this side, doesn't look terrible, but let's take out some of the crisscrossers. Let's take out this one. These are all on the way here. There we go. All right. This one's shooting up here. We're competing and crisscrossing. We got these two. Some of these are fruit spurs, so I am salvaging some of them. But we're just gonna nip these a little bit. This one's growing back towards the tree. Nip that. This one's growing back towards that one. Probably want this to grow outward. Actually, I'm gonna pick that one over that one. All right, now I'm just gonna look at some of these lower branches on that side and see what I have to do. We are looking a lot more evened out, a lot more symmetry, a lot more potential for some of this growth to catch up, some of the new grafts to catch up, and we're very open. Nice big open center. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you thought this was helpful, but the main principle here is if you're going to graft, multi-graft anything tree, there's a constant balance, and that's just something you're going to have to deal with. And with any, especially stone fruit tree, you want the open center, you want good airflow, you want sunlight to get to all the foliage and all the fruit. Yeah, this is just something practical that you're going to need to know how to know. So comment below if you guys have any questions or if you have a different take or anything. And if you haven't subscribed by now, consider doing so, because I do have a lot of videos of this nature. I will be doing an update on this once we get a lot of growth. Some of these cyans were 2 years, so we may even get fruit on some of the newer ones, at least blossoms. I'll debate whether I'll keep them or not. Anyway guys, I hope you thought this was helpful. As always, thanks for tuning in. Until next time.